Hello and welcome to this week's edition of CTN Community Update. The Anoka School District is gearing up for the start of another school year, and they can't do it without a lot of staff. On Thursday, District 11 held its third annual job fair at the Educational Service Center in Anoka. For the past few years, the district has made a big effort to recruit new employees. Whether a job seeker is looking for year-round, part-time, or substitute work, there are many opportunities for people in any phase of life. New to this year's job fair, District 11 launched an online employment application system to help job seekers save time.
There are many other school districts in the state of Minnesota that use it, and so if an applicant has applied in another school district that uses the same system, much of their kind of demographic or basic information can be transferred over from that other school district and downloaded into our application system.
With the choice of either a Mac or PC lab to fill out applications, job seekers could get additional help from staff. There were even opportunities to work on interviewing skills. Each year, the job fair draws more than 100 prospective employees. For those who couldn't make it to the job fair, a list of available positions can be found on the school district's website. A new state law is aiming to make the trip to and from school a safer one for students. As of August 1st, the fine is increasing from $300 to $500 for motorists who fail to stop for school buses that have flashing lights activated and the crossing arm fully extended. In the last 6 years, law enforcement officers have issued nearly 9,000 citations for stop arm violations in Minnesota. And a survey of bus drivers earlier this year showed 700 stop arm violations in one day alone. Filings for office opened this week for 3 seats on the Anoka School Board, which are up for re-election this fall. 2 of the seats, District 3 and District 6, represent portions of Coon Rapids. Filings continue until 5 p.m. on August 15th. Those interested can find a packet of information on the Anoka County Elections website. We also have a link on our website, ctncoonrapids.com. The election will take place on Tuesday, November 7th. The city is making changes to its Class B off-sale liquor licenses. On Tuesday night, the City Council approved an ordinance revision that eliminates the 2-mile radius restriction between license holders and does away with a limit on the number of Class B licenses allowed in the city. It also changes the definition of intoxicating liquor to allow for the sale of hard liquor. However, liquor sales must still be a secondary use in a retail building of at least 50,000 square feet. Currently, Costco is the only business in the city that holds a Class B license, which means they could start selling hard liquor by the end of the month. An apartment project could soon be constructed on the old Pedersen Floral site off Coon Rapids Boulevard. This week, the City Council approved the preliminary plat for the project, which calls for a 128-unit apartment building. There would also be 1,800 square feet of commercial and office space. The proposed building is 5 stories high and would include a mix of studio, 1-bedroom, and 2-bedroom units. The apartments would be primarily marketed to staff at Mercy Hospital and students at Anoka Ramsey, with both facilities being within walking distance of the new building. The city is currently in the process of updating its police officer eligibility roster for 2017 and 2018. Applicants interested in becoming a police officer in Coon Rapids must meet the licensing requirements set forth by the Minnesota Board of Peace Officer Standards and Training and be post-eligible by October 31st. Candidates must also be at least 21 years of age as of September 14th. More information can be found on the city's website, coonrapidsmn.gov. The deadline to apply is August 21st. A written exam must also be taken on September 14th as part of the application process. Police officers in Coon Rapids and beyond joined residents in the fight against crime on Tuesday night. The annual Night to Unite event is aimed at promoting neighborhood spirit and building police-community partnerships to create safer neighborhoods. CTN's Jordan Rylance has more on the local festivities.
Say good boy and pet him on the head.
It was a perfect summer night.
You're in trouble
Should
now.
lock the girls in.
To spend with neighbors. For more than 30 years, neighborhoods throughout the country have gathered together the first Tuesday in August to strengthen their communities.
I just feel like it's so important that we get to know our neighbors, our community. I think it helps to build like cohesiveness and safety.
Night to Unite brings together more than 38 million residents in 20,000 communities across the U.S. Here in Coon Rapids, dozens of neighborhoods celebrated the place they call home.
Night to Unite is vital to our city, your sense of safety and security here in our town, because there's nothing more important you can do than get to know your neighbors.
Everyone is just meeting each other, just like having a great time together.
Coon Rapids police officers attended the events
Give a thumbs up.
and met some of their greatest supporters.
Well, with all this stuff going on right now, especially now, it's good that the kids get raised up to knowing that they're there to help.
Good job.
Hi, Doggy.
Good boy.
At the Coon Rapids Soccer Complex, neighbors celebrated with a multicultural event, bringing in Native American music, henna art, and much more.
It's just really great to make every citizen of Coon Rapids feel welcome and at home.
For CTN Community Update, I'm Jordan Rylance.
There were a total of 110 registered parties in Coon Rapids on Tuesday night that received visits from police officers, firefighters, and other city staff. Mayor Jerry Cook and Police Chief Brad Wise also attended several of the gatherings, praising residents for their efforts in keeping crime in Coon Rapids at a historically low rate.
I bet Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Manawha, Lambda.
Cool and damp weather didn't stop people from taking in the final concert of the summer at the Coon Rapids Dam. The Church of Cash, a Johnny Cash tribute band, entertained the crowd at the Performance Pavilion on Thursday night. It was the 8th and final concert in the annual series, sponsored by the Coon Rapids Arts Commission. If you missed the concert or any of the others, look for them in the coming weeks right here on CTN. A golf tournament that started in Coon Rapids is celebrating a big milestone this year. The 3M Championship, formerly known as the Coldwell Banker Burnett Senior Classic, is 25 years old. The tournament, which has been held at the TPC in Blaine for the past 17 years, brings some of the greatest names in golf to the North Metro each summer, and it couldn't be done without hundreds of volunteers. This week, we talked to 2 local men who've been volunteering at the tournament since the very start.
I do a job that requires me, sometimes taking some of the legends and stuff to dinner and sitting around a table and sharing a fine glass of wine and listening to the old stories of how it used to be years ago. And
The company I was with sponsored the first tournament back at Bunker Hills, so I volunteered and I ended up getting in the media tent, and I sell real estate, so it worked perfectly because I could still use my phone in there. I can't use my phone as much out on the course, so that's where I've been all 25 years.
The week-long tournament starts with several pro-ams and concludes with 3 days of championship play. This year's winner will walk away with a check for more than $262,000. Admission to the 3M Championship is free. If you can't make it in person, you can watch coverage on the Golf Channel all weekend long. By the way, the tournament has raised more than $25 million for charity, with Mercy Hospital being a big beneficiary over the years. And it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous weekend out there, so have a good time. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here again next week.